What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Henryson Gaming video. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm going to be doing a Fortnite season tier list all the way from Chapter 1, Season 1 to Chapter 4. I think you guys are going to be surprised about some of my rankings. So if you guys can, make sure to smack that like button and watch the whole thing, because there is some stuff I want to talk about Chapter 4. Okay, so let's jump right in. We're gonna go in order. We're gonna go in order too. So, Season 1, Chapter 1. I only got to play like the end of it. It was like right before the Chapter 2. So we're gonna put it in B because the game was pretty plain at the time and it wasn't crazy popular. A lot of people didn't even know about it. So we're gonna put it at B just because it was a good game at the time. But there was still a lot that needed to be done. And then we're going to move to Chapter 1, Season 2. We're going to put this in S tier just because this was, I don't know if it's just nostalgia, but this was like my favorite season. If I can go back in time and just relive it before I started my YouTube channel and just played to have fun, you know. And all my friends were playing it. It was just a good time. And they added the Battle Pass, the Black Knight. It was just a crazy season. And the Chug Jug was added. Tilted Towers was added. It was just all around an awesome season. So we're gonna move to Chapter 1, Season 3, which was here, and we're gonna put it in A just because it was such a good season too. Like, when I think of this, it's almost the same as Chapter 1, Season 2. All my friends were playing it. You know, Lucky Landing, the guided missile, just so much crazy stuff. The John Wick skin, the meteor. It was just a crazy. This is when I think they started doing the live events and stuff too, which was really cool. So we're gonna move on to Chapter 1, Season 4. So John, my stepbrother, you know, this is a shout out to. I did have this at B tier, but we're gonna move it up to an A tier just because it was a good season. The superheroes, Dusty Divot, the meteor hit, the Hop Rocks, Moisty Mire. It was just a cool season, and again, this is just around the peak era of Fortnite, so it was a really good season. So Season 5, Chapter 1, Moisty Mire location was replaced with Paradise Palm, as well as a desert biome. This was our first desert biome. It was really cool, in my opinion, seeing it. And this also brought us the rifts, other items, the grappler, the llama bell, tomato temple. Shout out to Tomato Temple, man. And the getaway event took place this season. So Chapter 1, Season 5. Which one was that? I think it was... I don't even... Nah, it was this one. For sure it was this one. Yeah. We're going to put that at a C just because... to me, this is when, in my opinion, Fortnite started going downhill. It was still like a good game. Everyone was still playing it. But this is when it started kind of going down. I didn't really enjoy the Battle Pass either, so I'm just going to put that there. Season 6. This is when the Cube was introduced. Kevin the Cube, the floating island, corrupted areas. It was a theme around Halloween, darkness, and corruption. Again, this is like a C in my opinion. It was still a good game, but it just wasn't the tier of you know, the first couple seasons. And it just kind of, there's still some really good seasons, like the beginning of Chapter 2 we'll get in, but I feel like when Fortnite tries to do too much, it almost always ends up being bad. So we'll talk about more of that, especially in Chapter 4. I don't know, we'll get into that later, but we'll do Season 7. It was revolved around winter. This was when the planes added Polar Peak, Frosty Flights, Happy Hamlet, the Infinity Blade. This was a crazy season, in my opinion. This is going to be an A tier. creative was introduced. So that alone, we kind of have to put this one in an A tier, just because, let's just say creative alone. But it was a really good season. I actually did enjoy, because this was around Christmas time, probably like four years ago. So it was pretty awesome. I do remember, playing that with all the homies. Season 8 was the pirate, the volcano, sunny steps, lazy lagoon, flashlight pistol. Just the prop gun was introduced here. The first live event was also here. The drum gun. This was a really good season. I do remember playing. I did like the pirate theme. It was pretty cool. So we'll put this at, I want to say this was a B season. This was a B season for sure. Season 9, this was the Neo Tilted, the Mega Mall, Pressure Planets, the Slipstreams. In my opinion, I think this is where Fortnite was trying to do too much. It was almost like too much. Dual wielding harvesting tools was added, which was pretty cool. But to me, this was just not a good season, so we're gonna put it in F tier. This was like the first season that I was like, I don't know if I enjoy playing Fortnite anymore. Like, I started playing Apex Legends a lot. I wasn't even streaming or like playing. I was just playing video games for fun, and I wasn't having fun, so I stopped playing it. I was still kind of playing it here and there, but not as much as I was in the past seasons. Then we've got Season X, which added the Brute, Rift Zones, Retail Row Monsters, Greasy Grove, the Guaco Taco thing. Just like that, I remember that alone just made me so mad. The Gotham City, that was like the first no-build Fortnite. And then the end event. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I hated this season. Like Season 9 and X, man, just weren't very good in my opinion. But yeah, we'll just move. I pretty much stopped playing at this point, and Chapter 2 is where things start picking up again. The interest for me started increasing again. This is actually when I started streaming. I started my YouTube channel about 3 years ago, and it was Chapter 2 Season 1 when I started doing it. This was a really neat. They added a whole bunch of stuff. The bandage bazooka, the motor boats, like swimming. This was a very long season, and I feel like it was just very plain. But because it brought my interest back in the game, we'll put it as a B. Put it as a B. New map. A lot of people didn't know what was actually going to happen. So now we start going into the good seasons of Chapter 2. We got Chapter 2 Season 2. This was the season was revolved around the spies and secret agents between the ghosts and shadows. This was awesome. We got the mythic bosses. The Travis Scott concert was here. This was just all around. It was a really good season. Midas was introduced, so we're gonna put that in A. Because it was really good. Definitely really good. And then Season 3, this was when the map was flooded. And I want to say this was probably the peak of my Fortnite streaming career. This was before my paramedic school, where I took about a year break. It was just, a good time. I had a lot of good memories playing this season, especially with like playing with subs, and I've killed like famous streamers like Avery. This is when I started like popping off. This is also when they added cars. It was just all around a crazy like season. So we're gonna put that in S. Actually, I'm gonna put that S plus, because this was probably when people ask me what was my favorite season, it's Chapter 2 Season 3. So we're gonna move on to Season 4. Chapter 2 Season 4 was the first ever crossover season. This was the Marvel season. This was actually really cool. I did enjoy this season. The superhero powers were kind of annoying, but all around, I think about the Stark location and yeah, the Stark Industries. It was a cool season. So we'll put it at B. And then season 5 was mainly revolved around bounty hunters. A desert biome appeared around the 0 point. This one, in my opinion, was not very entertaining. I was like, it was fun. I was still making montages and stuff, but it just wasn't as good as it should have been, in my opinion. The storyline, it was pretty good, but it was alright. They could have done a lot more. So move on to season 6. This was the primal season. Crafting and all that junk was introduced this season. We're gonna put that in F. It's really bad in my opinion. This was again like when Fortnite tries to add a new thing that just like ruins the game, like building your guns and stuff. Like they try to do too much and it just ruins the season. And I think this is a lot of people. For chapter 2, this was the worst season for them. And then, you know, when you look back at chapter 1, the 2 seasons where they tried doing the most, adding them new things, and it was just too much. Like, you got to keep the game at like a simple core, and it'll be a perfect game. Just add like cool events, you know, change the map up, stuff like that, and people will like it. Just keep it the same, man. Do too much and it just ruins it. Season 7, this was a good season, in my opinion. This is a B. I did really enjoy it. There was a lot of cool things. They had the spaceships. Yeah, it was just the railgun. It was one of my favorite guns at the time. Again, the railgun and the scanner weapons, those were really cheap. Again, I think they just keep adding cheap stuff. I'm not a huge fan of when they add cheap stuff. So yeah. And then talking about cheap stuff, we're moving on to season 8. I actually made a video about this. This was like the cube season, and they had that that Venom mythic where you could like grab people through builds and stuff. That was like one of the cheapest things I've ever seen in the game. So we're gonna move that to F. I actually made a video. You can go back and look. I think I was in paramedic school at the time and kind of just playing the game casually. And yeah, this was a time where I was like contemplating, you know, not making any content or streaming or anything, mainly because the season was so bad. And luckily they got rid of the Venom and Carnage mythics. I think that was the worst part. And when they got rid of that, it started picking up for me. But yeah, now we move into Chapter 3. It's crazy to think we're already in Chapter 4. Chapter 3 felt very short, but this was which one? This yeah, I believe this one was this with the Spider-Man mythic. I think it was a C. It was a cool, you know, new season and stuff, new map. I wasn't a huge fan of the Chapter 3 map, and I really did not like the Spider-Man mythic. I think it was a cool item, but when you put it in competitive, and when Fortnite adds a thing where you have to have it if you want to win games and stuff, I think that's where it goes downhill, and it's just not as fun because the items are just so cheap. You need to have it. So well, that's a C. That's a C. Chapter 3, Season 2. This was kind of talking about the 7 in the Imagine Order with the new vehicles like drivable battle bus, and this is when mantling and sprinting happened. This was actually a really interesting season because I think this was a season that brought the 0 build, and so it was a good season. I think alone we're gonna put it at A, just because of the whole zero build. And again, like this is a time where I was like contemplating stopping playing Fortnite because it was just so sweaty, and I felt like I was like capped out or topped out at my building capacity on controller. So we're gonna put that at A. I thought it was a really good season, and W for the zero build. Now chapter 3, season 3, the collision. This was actually no, it was Vibin. Yeah, Vibin. So the next one was Vibin, which was like a summer event. I thought it was alright, but wasn't crazy or anything. I felt like the season was kind of just like, it's very stale in my opinion. But Paradise was actually, in my opinion, I had a lot of fun doing this. I was really good at zero build during this time, and I thought the theme was kind of weird. I was not a huge fan of the theme, but the gameplay, just the items and weapons, I think it was a good season. I think I was very happy at where it was, and I was actually really enjoying streaming and playing solos. And now we move on to chapter 4, where they kind of just totally butchered the game. We're gonna put this in F, and it is the worst season I've ever played in this game. It's super glitchy. You can't rush people with the hammer. Like, you need the hammer for mobility, but it's so glitchy. Like, you can't hammer and then land and slide, or you'll glitch out and get like a FOV glitch, and then the person you're running after gets basically a free kill. There's just so much, like the augments, where if you don't get certain ones, you're at such a disadvantage because you can't see where the next zone's at. You don't get ping, like you can't ping people that are around you end game, and it's just like they definitely were trying way too hard to change things and just, in my opinion, completely ruin the game. I'm not even a huge fan of the map. I feel like it's very plain. I know that they kind of do that. The first chapter is very plain, but this first chapter is not very plain in regards of just like the augments, and just like, I don't know, it's such a bad season in my opinion. And I'm actually not going to be streaming this game. I might play with like subs every once in a while, but I'm not playing solos live because it's just such a bad game. Like, it's so hard to play this season and like go around killing people and have it entertaining. It's just so bad, and it ruined Fortnite for me. So that's why, I kind of am making this video. I kind of want to talk to you guys about why I'm not going to be streaming a lot until they fix this season. It's just a total dumpster fire at this point for me. And hopefully next season, or next few updates, they can fix a lot of things. But I just have not been having any fun, man. I play a few games and I literally want to like just uninstall the game. It's sad. It's very sad because I've played this game for 5 years now, and I've never seen this game at such a bad point. So I hope they can learn from their mistakes, and we'll see where chapter 4 season 2 takes us. So if you guys have any questions or what you think these seasons should be, leave a comment and smack that like button, and we'll hope to see you in the next video. Peace.